Look closely around you and you'll discover a different world. Tiny predators whose killing skills are second to none. They've survived for around 400 million years. Alien relics from an ancient world, and they continue to fight their battle with age-old rivals. Meet the spiders, the eight-legged masters of death by silk. With the exception of icy Antarctica, almost everywhere on this planet, from grasslands to forests to deserts and even underwater, you can find a group of animals that are as versatile as they are deadly: the spiders. There are at least 35,000 different kinds of spider, and although they're not always easy to see, we're surrounded by them. Spiders come in all shapes and sizes. They can be big, hairy and menacing, or colourful, graceful and fragile. But they all have something in common. They're meat eaters, equipped with deadly fangs and flesh-melting venom. They're killers. Spiders are ancient creatures, survivors from around 400 million years ago. It was a time when insects were diversifying and multiplying. As the numbers of insects grew, the spiders that fed on them thrived. It's a pattern that's been going on ever since. Spiders have increased in abundance wherever they can find food. A single field in the south of England can support a population of up to 2 million spiders per acre. These are nature's commandos, able to parachute into remote areas on long strands of silk. But what makes a spider a spider? Without exception, spiders have 8 legs, a pair of pedipalps, specialized mouth parts to help subdue their prey, and menacing jaws equipped with powerful fangs. Most spiders have venom glands, and the venom can be potent, strong enough to kill even humans. Spiders like their food pre-digested and in liquid form. Once the victim has been subdued by venom or trussed up in silk, the spider vomits digestive fluid onto it. This converts the prey to a nutritious soup, fast food, arachnid style. And even though spiders can go for months without feeding, they don't let any food opportunity pass them by. These ruthless mini predators have 6 or 8 eyes. Yet they tend to have poor eyesight and instead use their formidable sense of touch. They listen to the world around them through vibrations in the air, the ground, their webs, or even on the surface of water. But there are exceptions. Some spiders have excellent eyesight. This 12mm jumping spider can recognize motionless prey at distances of up to 28 centimeters. But the spider's greatest secret of success is also their deadliest weapon: silk. It's insoluble in water and forms a thread more elastic than nylon and 5 times stronger than steel. The dragline of this golden orb spider is the strongest known natural fibre, so strong that the people of New Guinea have used it for their fishing nets. All spiders produce silk for various purposes, from mating and building cocoons to using draglines as escape routes. But only about a third of them build the beautiful silvery structures we know so well from our homes and gardens. It takes an hour of hard work to build a web, and it's precision engineering. But spiders don't learn to weave their webs. It's a genetically pre-programmed instinct. Even newborn spiders can be master silk weavers. Watch as the silk emerges from the spider's spinnerets on its abdomen. Extremely fine strands combine into a single solid thread. The spinnerets form a group of 6, each group connected to a particular type of silk gland. There are up to 7 different glands, each producing silk with different properties, designed for specific purposes. And spiders produce silk in huge quantities. As much as 700 meters of silk can be drawn continuously from the abdomen of a golden orb spider. That's like pulling a 14-kilometer thread out of an adult man. Web construction is a hit-and-miss procedure. It starts with the spider taking up a position where it can use the breeze to drag out a fine line of silk. If it's in luck, the line snags on a suitable anchoring point. The spider tightens it and builds a stronger cable of many strands before putting radial strands into position. Only then does it start to add a temporary spiral thread to give tension to the emerging web. Now it's time to construct the spider's killing zone. A second spiral is put in place and daubed in glue. It's the spiral of death. For the garden spider, only the size of a regular button, the total length of thread in its web can reach 60 meters. An average net involves about 700 attachments and a journey of 54 meters. That's 4,153 times the spider's body length. Finally, the trap is set. Watch as the spider settles on the hub, always on guard for the telltale vibrations of prey caught and struggling in its web. This is a very efficient killing machine. In a good location, it can catch up to 250 insects a day in a single web. At least once a day, these orb webs are taken down and rebuilt, not only because rain reduces their effectiveness, but also because many are damaged or destroyed by unwanted intruders. Having its web damaged isn't good news for a spider. It means losing the valuable proteins stored in the threads. They would normally eat the old web to recycle the protein. Some spiders have developed keep-off signals. Like road traffic signs, they mark the center of their web with broad strands of shiny white silk called stabilamenta. There's a single purpose for all orb webs: to catch fresh, juicy prey. But how did such a complex, beautiful, and deadly trapping device evolve? Webs are too fragile to have left traces in the fossil record. But let's look at the spiders around us today for clues. The reproductive behavior of some contemporary spiders could provide an answer. It's June in England, and this male nursery web spider is on the lookout for a female. But romance spider style is an activity fraught with danger. Given half a chance, his would-be partner will eat him, despite his amorous intentions. In a bid for self-preservation, these males have come up with a clever strategy. They look for a gift. A cranefly is perfect. Elegantly wrapped in silk, The fly becomes a food parcel and a shield for the male as he cautiously approaches the female. It looks as if the life or death maneuver has worked. Once she's sunk her fangs into the meal, there's very little that will distract her until she's finished. This is the chance for the male to swivel round beneath her. His pedipalps now act as accessory sex organs. The expandable bulb and a coiled duct inside suck in sperm and release it into the female. An hour later, the male has to time his exit so that he escapes before the female thinks of him as just another piece of food. Some males are cheeky enough to snatch the remains of their food parcel back from the female before leaving. A handy snack for themselves. With the fatal attraction over and done with, this is the end of the male's involvement in the parental process. The female gets to work constructing a silken platform as a base for her egg case. This is a feature common to all spiders and may have been the original purpose of silk. She then lays several hundred eggs in a glutinous mass before completely encasing them in a protective silk cocoon. This will shield them from humidity, temperature fluctuations and parasites. Nursery web spider mothers carry this cocoon around with them for 2 or 3 weeks until it's time for the tiny spiderlings to hatch. When the time is right, the mother carefully unpicks the cocoon's outer layers. She attaches it to a leaf or stem and spins a nursery tent. This will be home for the spiderlings, a place where they can live and grow in safety. The mother stays with her brood and guards it vigorously until her babies are old enough to fend for themselves. But being a good parent means she doesn't have time to go hunting. She may have to go without food for long periods. And this is where the use of silk to catch prey may have started. Even though it's not intended as a trap, insects get caught in the tangled threads of the nursery tent. Whilst many manage to break free, others are stuck fast. They're an easy target for a hungry mother spider. She's quick to take advantage. After all, it takes a lot less energy than hunting in the open. Could this fluke of nature have led to the development of death by silk? What we know for certain is that spiders' webs have evolved into a massive array of designs and applications, but all have a single purpose: to kill. Sheet web spiders use a design virtually identical to the tent of the nursery web spider, but its purpose is specifically to kill. Grasshoppers trying to land on the fragile structure fall through the threads onto the sheet below, where their struggling alerts the web's architect. Look closely as the spider darts in and launches a vicious attack. It delivers a deadly bite and injects a fatal dose of quick-acting venom. Let's see that again. There goes the venom. But the silk used to make this web isn't sticky. Instead, it's a mass of incredibly fine strands that entangle the hairs and bristles of prey. Escape is impossible. While the dense silken threads provide a good foothold for the spider as it subdues the grasshopper, the struggles of the victim only serve to entangle it further. The spider's venom works so quickly, it doesn't even have to wrap its prey in silk to control it. All that's left is to drag the prize to its lair and suck the nutritious juices from its body. Higher in the trees, this money spider has woven a similar trap, but for a different sort of prey. These webs are made of horizontal sheets of silk. Guide wires above deflect small flying insects into the killing zone of the money spider. And there it waits, ready for action. Watch as the spider repeatedly shakes the entire structure until the insect falls onto the sheet below. Once caught, a lethal bite through the web seals the victim's fate. Even insects as big as ladybirds can find themselves struggling with the silky threads. The vibrations cause the hopeful spider to dart out and investigate its latest catch. But this isn't as easy as it looks. Not only is the ladybird strong enough to plow its way out of the web, its body armor is too tough for the spider's bite. To add insult to injury, the ladybird produces an evil-smelling chemical to deter the spider, with success. The lucky ladybird makes its escape. Other spiders have found ways of making their traps even more deadly. They use glue to catch their prey. This web isn't only a different kind of structure. Dotted along its threads are droplets of glue. It's the trap of a comb-footed spider. It's more like a system of sticky snares attached to the ground than a web, and it's constantly renewed and upgraded by the busy owner. And these are what the spider's waiting for: ants. Going about its business on the forest floor, an ant suddenly gets stuck fast on one of the spider's deadly threads of glue. The ant's desperate attempts to free itself send vibrations along the silk strands and alert the waiting spider. It emerges from its camouflaged lair of silk and debris to investigate. The ant's struggles are in vain. It doesn't stand a chance. And once injected with the spider's venom, death is moments away. Hauled up into the net, the victim is imprisoned in a silken case, leaving only one possible fate. And while parental care is very rare amongst spiders, combfoot mothers even feed their young. She punctures the ant and presents the food packet to her offspring, waiting safely tucked away in her nest. Hers is a highly effective trap, and the stuff of nightmares for forest ants. The combfoot's design is so efficient that in the deserts of southwestern America we find a similar web. Its owner has a fearsome reputation. This spider's venom is 15 times more effective than that of a prairie rattlesnake. It's the Black Widow. She's laid a tangled system of sticky snares between vegetation and the ground and is waiting for unwary passers-by. But its prey is also dangerous. A scorpion's stinging tail can be just as lethal to the Black Widow as her venomous fangs are to it. An equal match, you might think, if it wasn't for the spider's sticky trap. The scorpion has become stuck fast, and the spider's silk is strong enough to render its struggles useless. Alerted by the vibrations, the Black Widow makes her way down to deal with her latest catch. But she's no daredevil. She makes a cautious approach to avoid the scorpion's stinging tail and powerful pincers. It's almost 5 times larger than her. By hoisting the scorpion into her net, she gains the upper hand. From a safe distance, she uses her hind legs to throw lassos of silk. These immobilize the scorpion's defenses. But the scorpion isn't one to give up easily and makes one last attempt to sting its captor before it's too late. But all is in vain. The Black Widow skillfully controls it with her silken shackles until the prey is subdued. Having immobilized the scorpion, the Black Widow goes in for the kill, delivering a bite of deadly venom to its tail. It's a neurotoxin. Proteins disable the body's nerves by penetrating their membranes one by one. Slowly, the victim's entire nervous system is shut down. Even humans who are bitten by the Black Widow run the risk of death as their lungs pack up. Respiratory paralysis. Digestive enzymes have also entered the scorpion's body and begun turning it into soup ready for the spider to feed. Since they have no teeth, spiders can only take food pre-digested in liquid form. The Black Widow is the undisputed winner of this miniature battle as she drags her kill to her lair to feed at leisure. The diversity of web design in spiders is simply amazing. Some spiders have developed the art of spinning beautiful, silvery, circular webs. The lace web spider is one of them. Her round web is draped horizontally across vegetation. This time, the web isn't sticky with glue. Instead, the silk is teased out by tiny bristles on her back legs until it's fluffy, more like wool than wire. As insects come into contact with the woolly web, their bristles and hairs become trapped in the silk. The silken threads can stretch to 10 times their original length, so as an insect struggles, it only succeeds in snarling itself further in the spider's web. Resistance is futile and only serves to make things worse for the prey. And all the time, the lace-web spider is patiently watching the show, waiting for the disturbance to die down before coming in for the kill. Every morning before dawn, the common garden spider weaves a new web. Like the lace web, it constructs a circular silken trap, but it's a vertical structure, daubed in glue to catch its prey. It's built in the direction of the prevailing breeze, so that flying insects drift across it and get stuck, rather than flying straight through it. The spider produces oily secretions on its feet, enabling it to walk across its sticky trap. But for its victim, there's no escape. This catch is not without its own defences. A wasp's stinging tail could seriously injure, even kill the spider. There's no time to lose, and it quickly produces broad bands of silk to wrap up, subdue, and secure the wasp. Only then does the garden spider deliver its lethal injection of venom. The wasp's powerful sting is useless now. The battle is over, and her insides begin to turn to liquid. But being the owner of such an efficient trap doesn't always guarantee your personal safety. In Australia, the bizarre robber spider has turned the tables on the web-owning spiders. It specialises in preying on them, sneaking into their webs like a cat on the prowl. The 1 centimetre long killer enters the web, and under cover of vibrations the breeze is making, it moves towards its prey. It can also imitate vibrations like twigs dropping on the web. Its prey simply ignores the intruder, and since she has poor eyesight, the owner of the web can't see the approaching con artist. When it's just 5 millimeters away, the robber spider suddenly attacks. It lunges forward, fangs outstretched to grasp its prey and inject a dose of fast-acting venom. Being active hunters, robber spiders have excellent eyesight and can make accurate jumps from a complete standstill. Moreover, their ingenious distraction strategies suggest a certain degree of intelligence and problem-solving, allowing them to make other spiders' webs their hunting grounds. There are spiders that hunt without webs. Some environments simply aren't suitable for such a fragile structure. Places like these wind-swept dunes in North America. But there are still rich pickings of insect prey to be had. So spiders, being pioneers, have adapted their strategies. An unsuspecting woodlouse is making its way through the dunes, and 8 eyes are watching it. A wolf spider, lurking in a crevasse, is waiting for the woodlouse to come into range. Its colouring is a perfect camouflage against the sandy background. Wolf spiders occupy nearly every type of terrestrial habitat and are amongst the most common and conspicuous spiders around the world. All of them are skillful hunters, killing without the use of webs. A short sprint, and its front legs have grabbed the prey. Next, it bites and crushes it with powerful mouthparts. The unfortunate victim never stood a chance. From the very start, the woodlouse was hopelessly outgunned by this spider commando. Crab spiders use camouflage to blend into the background and only use their silk as a safety line. This one lives on heather and waits motionless on flowers for a nectar-feeding insect. Patience is the name of the game, something crab spiders have in abundance. They can remain for days, even weeks at the same spot, front legs outstretched, ready to catch their prey. A butterfly is just the ticket. A quick grab from the spider, a bite to the head or thorax to disable the flight muscles, and the butterfly is history. The crab spider's front legs are large and strong. Holding them outstretched like a trap means they can react with lightning speed when prey arrives. Watch how the spider uses its hind legs to anchor itself on the heather, as its venom quickly subdues the panicking butterfly. Digestive juices liquefy the insect's internal tissues, which the spider then sucks up. All that is left is a lifeless husk. There's a spider species in England that has even taken to hunting on water, the swamp spider. This spider can literally walk on water. Waiting motionless, its eyes check the sky for potential predators, while its feet feel for movement from below. And although they tend to feed on insects, larger prey is not out of the question. This spider is fishing, and a small stickleback is fair game. From below, the fish can't see the predator lurking above. Once the hunter has identified its prey, a swift attack and injection of deadly venom bring the fish under control. The swamp spider's venom needs to work particularly quickly. This 25mm assassin would never be able to hold on to a struggling fish. But to feed, the spider must return to land. It drags the unlucky fish behind it. It's a heavy load, comparable to an adult man dragging a grizzly bear behind him. Poised on leaves, the spider can enjoy its meal in peace, sucking the fish's body dry. Spiders have even managed to invade the underwater world. But there's only one species of spider that can live entirely in fresh water, and it still depends on air to breathe. The freshwater spider returns to the surface of the water every few minutes to replenish its supply of oxygen. It does this by pushing its abdomen through the water surface. Special hairs trap a bubble of air. Yet again, the freshwater spider uses silk to its advantage. The silk it spins hardens on contact with water. It builds a delicate structure and anchors it to vegetation. But this isn't a trap, it's a dive chamber. Over and over again, the spider must make the journey from the water's surface to its new home. Using a guide thread to travel down to its diving bell, the spider fills its growing home with oxygen-rich air, squeezing the precious bubbles from the supply carried on its hairy abdomen. The dive bell makes a cozy home. Even in winter, the spider may shelter in its underwater nest for up to 4 months, surviving on the limited oxygen by slowing down its metabolic rate by hibernating. But in summer, it requires constant hard work to maintain this underwater hunting lodge. The construction of the dive bell is probably the most incredible example of how spiders have adapted to almost every environment on Earth. The freshwater spider is also a formidable predator, targeting small animals and injecting them with flesh-melting venom. It's clever too. The spider weaves signal threads between its lair and the surrounding vegetation to alert it to the presence of suitable prey. We're in the presence of one of nature's most skillful hunters. Picking up and tuning into the tiniest of vibrations, the spider tracks its prey underwater. It's so sensitive to these vibrations, it can even detect insects struggling on the surface. Once prey is caught, the hunter's sharp fangs inject venom into the victim's body. As soon as the prey is subdued, the spider takes it back to the diving bell. There, it can feed undisturbed. Although its surroundings and hunting strategy couldn't be more different to those of other spiders, the freshwater spider kills and feeds in typical spider style, sucking its victim's body dry before discarding the lifeless husk. Then it's back to maintenance work, keeping its precious underwater retreat upgraded and secure. At the end of the day, silk is the key to the freshwater spider's unique lifestyle. It might not use it to catch its prey, but the construction of its underwater hunting lodge still equals death by silk for its unfortunate victims. These are the eyes of a night hunter. In sharp contrast to most spiders, Australia's net-casting spider has excellent night vision, able to concentrate available light even more effectively than an owl. This highly specialized spider also builds a strange structure of silk, a mobile death trap of incredible ingenuity. It's about the size of a postage stamp and made of woolly silk. The web structure and the way the spider weaves it show that this is in fact a highly modified orb web. That means that net-casting spiders must have descended from ancestors like the common garden spider. The net-caster's silk-producing organs are highly adapted to its mode of hunting, making a special type of ultra-fine silk. As it draws it from its abdomen, a comb-like structure on its hind legs fluffs the silk out into thin, tangly threads, ideal for entrapping victims without having to be sticky. Watch closely as each strand is woven to fit perfectly into the final hexagonal shape. The individual strands set quickly like a pair of convoluted spirals. Under tension, they'll be smooth, but when released on contact with prey, the strands fluff out again, trapping the victim. Once the mobile trap is ready, the spider turns around, hanging motionlessly upside down in a trapeze of silken threads, ready to pounce at any time. But first things first, having a good grip on the corners of the net to stretch it is essential. The spider often drops splashes of white feces onto the leaf or bark over which it's poised. These are used as markers, making its aim deadly accurate. Small insects coming within range are quickly trapped by this miniature commando's web, they're immediately cocooned in a silken prison before the net-casting spider devours them, silk and all. No amount of resistance can save this ant. The killer calmly pulls thick strands of silk from its abdomen to parcel up its packed lunch. As it starts to feed, the net-casting spider sometimes even starts to weave its next web, not wasting any time between meals. Even stranger is this device, used by the Bolas spiders of Australia. A single thread with a sticky ball-like structure at the end captures passing insects. The silk globule contains molecules that mimic the pheromones of certain female moths, chemicals released into the air that attract male moths. The Bolas spider is very sensitive to vibrations, swinging its deadly ball when it senses the approach of a moth's beating wings. A moth eventually flutters close enough to be hit by the sticky globule. The spider quickly reels in the line, then bites and immobilizes the moth. Success at last, and another unwary victim meets a sticky end. Perhaps even more ancient than web-spinning spiders are those that dwell underground. These spiders are masters of mimicry and camouflage. This seemingly harmless pile of soil hides the home of a European purse web spider. It's a silk tube, perfectly camouflaged and invisible to passing insects. A woodlouse bumps into one of the silken tripwires that surround this lair. The spider, waiting patiently underground, is immediately alerted. As the insect comes closer, the earth beneath it suddenly becomes alive. A pair of massive fangs plunge into the woodlouse's body. Watch closely as the spider times its attack with split-second accuracy. And once the victim is impaled on the pickaxe-like fangs, escape is impossible. Slashing through the silk, the spider's fangs inject venom into its prey. And as it begins to take effect, the victim ceases to struggle and is dragged under. But first things first. Before starting to feed, the purse web spider sets about repairing the damage to its home. Using broad bands of silk to sew any gaps back together, it also pushes debris through the resulting net to camouflage its trap once again. In East Africa, there's another camouflaged entrance to a spider's hideaway. It's the home of a trapdoor spider. 3 centimeters across, this giant predator in a miniature world lives underground in a long silk-lined tube. The tube is capped by a hinged trapdoor made with alternate layers of earth and silk. And beneath it, the killer waits patiently. But not every attempt to kill is a success. In this age-old arms race between hunter and hunted, some insects have come up with effective defenses like evil-smelling chemicals, body armor, or just plain luck. The spider's laid a series of trip wires around its home, and vibrations passed along them alert the spider to potential prey. A soft-bodied, juicy velvet mite is just the right kind of food for the hungry spider. And although its brightly coloured body suggests it might be poisonous to some predators, it's no deterrent to the trapdoor spider. Split-second timing ensures that the catch is a success. Watch how the spider waits until the mite is in the right position before launching its perfectly timed attack. And a lightning-fast lunge from below seals the mite's fate. Once below the ground, the mite is helpless. Even a millipede, distasteful to most predators, would be fair game to this killer. But this potential meal has detected the spider's tripwires. The millipede decides it's safer to retreat. But ultimately, it's the spider that has the upper hand with its camouflaged home and lightning reactions. Many insects don't even know what's hit them until it's all over, and the spider has it in its grip. Once dragged into the underground tube, there's no escape. Over millions of years, spiders have evolved into a group of highly sophisticated predators, killing their prey by using strategies and adaptations perfectly suited to the environment they live in. An ancient arms race between spiders and insects has produced an amazing and startling array of different hunting techniques. From messy sheets of silk and tangled snares, to highly sophisticated orb webs and hidden underground lairs. Even weapons for active hunting have evolved. It seems that spiders can adapt silk for almost any purpose. And once caught in a silken trap, the unfortunate victim is as good as dead. But even those spiders that hunt without silk are effective killers. Their ability to track down prey, lightning-fast reactions, powerful fangs and debilitating venom give them the upper hand over their victims. Some can overpower animals several times their size. Even fish can be on the menu. And other spiders too are prey for some. But despite popular myths, spiders aren't evil creatures. Look closely, understand their behavior, and you'll discover one of nature's best-kept secrets. Because spiders are highly efficient predators, they play an important role in limiting insect populations. Death by silk keeps the pattern of things in balance, and is just one more piece in the jigsaw that makes up secret nature. This half-inch jumping spider can recognize motionless prey at distances of up to a foot. There are up to 7 different glands, each producing silk with different properties, designed for specific purposes. And spiders produce silk in huge quantities. As much as 765 yards of silk can be drawn continuously from the abdomen of a golden orb spider. That's like pulling almost 9 miles of thread out of an adult man. For the garden spider, only the size of a regular button, the total length of thread in its web can reach 65 yards. An average net involves about 700 attachments and a journey of 59 yards. That's 4,153 times the spider's body length. The half-inch long killer enters the web, and under cover of vibrations the breeze is making, it moves towards its prey. When it's just a quarter of an inch away, the robber spider suddenly attacks. It lunges forward, fangs outstretched to grasp its prey and inject a dose of fast-acting venom. Once the hunter has identified its prey, a swift attack and injection of deadly venom bring the fish under control. The swamp spider's venom needs to work particularly quickly. This inch-long assassin would never be able to hold on to a struggling fish. Over an inch across, this giant predator in a miniature world lives underground in a long, silk-lined tube. The tube is capped by a hinged trapdoor made with alternate layers of earth and silk, and beneath it, the killer waits patiently.